Greetings and salutation, you bunch of poop sacks. Galactic Criminal here with another reaction video for you. So this one is not exactly a music video. It's something that I stumbled upon on one of my favorite channels called Loudwire. Now, if you haven't heard of Loudwire before, they do a lot of really cool interviews with bands. They got some music on there, and they do a little like top 10, top 5 type stuff here and there. Anyway, I saw one that they put out pretty recently that I'm really fucking interested in. It's called 10 legitimately satanic metal acts. Now, I think I've talked about this before, you know, like bands purposefully going out of their way to pretend they're demons and shit like that. You know, we're being really fucking serious about it. And I guess there's some that are more serious than others. And if anyone's going to know who it is, it's going to be fucking Loudwire. So if you haven't checked that channel out, fucking go and check it out. It's awesome. So we're going to check out the legitimately satanic metal acts with a 1, a 2, a I wonder if I'm going to know any of them on here. I'm assuming I will. Never heard of them. So they actually practice Satanism. Okay. I guess to each their own. We're all demons. You know, some of the most satanic music that I've heard sounded nothing like this. Now, they're not really saying much about these bands, they're just kind of showing them, but I guess that makes sense. Cool. Looks like a fucking backyard party. Been to some of those. How much you want to bet, though, that every single song sounds exactly like that? Makes sense, too, because you ever hear Christian rock bands? Total opposite, but all the songs sound the same? Nothing against anybody who likes this stuff. I actually used to listen to a lot of, you know, like a lot of death metal bands, stuff that sounded and looked a lot like this, so it's wherever your taste lies. Yeah, that's actually not so bad. Sure. Wow. Yeah, I get it. Wow, what a great stage presence they have. They're all just fucking standing there. At least the rest of the bands were like kind of animated. You know, they're doing something. Okay. Fuck. You know me not being any kind of religious. I don't know what the fuck you call it. I don't like the word atheist, even though I am kind of an anti-theist. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into that fucking bullshit. You know, if you like Satanism and you actually worship Satanism, and this music is the way that you worship that thing, you know, all the power to you. It's I understand like the fun of the music if you're not, you know, serious about the whole cause and all that stuff. Like I said before, I listened to a lot of fucking like really black metal, really strong death metal for a long time. I just, you know, kind of started listening to other things. I just, you know, got into different groups of people. You know, I started listening to different music. And, you know, it kind of, you know, broadened my horizons a little bit. I didn't like to get stuck in a rut of a certain kind of music for too long. Again, another reason why I do a lot of the music video reactions on this channel, so I can, you know, maybe broaden my scope of at least the music that I listen to within the genre that I listen to. But I guess for the whole, like, taking it seriously thing, you know, I guess it really comes down for me personally to ignorance. I don't know anything about Satanism. I've never researched it. I've never really been interested in it. I like the more of, like, the comedy side of, like, the whole, like, Satanist culture. Like, I got back there a fucking patch on a jacket from a band called the Matadors, and they're just more of, like, a jokey type band, you know, talking about, you know, I worship Satan and all that stuff, and Halloween and boogity. You know, I don't really think anybody in the band is actually, you know, a Satanist, but, hey, you know, whatever fucking blows your hair back. You know, a lot of that type of music isn't really anything, like I said, I go out of my way to listen to anymore. Every now and then, it's not so bad to get back into that, you know, kind of actually brings back memories sometimes, listening to old songs that I've listened to or stuff that, you know, sounds familiar to what I used to listen to. You know, but I'm an old fucking guy now. I'm not an angsty teen anymore. I don't need fucking guys yelling and screaming at me. I like, you know, a little bit more technicality and fun to the music. Now, I went through a whole bunch of different music that I listened to over the years. I went from fucking hip-hop to fucking death metal to fucking punk rock to whatever the fuck. There was a fucking time after listening to hip-hop that I was into fucking rave and techno music. That was a fucking nightmare. Looking back on it, at least, it was a nightmare. And, you know, anytime I transitioned to a different kind of music, it was never really a smooth transition. It was kind of a jump, like a really quick jump. Getting into rock and roll was a little bit, well, I wouldn't say smooth. It was a rocky, you know, roller coaster of whatever was popular at the time. And then, you know, getting into, like, the more of the underground stuff and local bands. But even going through all that kind of stuff, I definitely did have some music that stuck with me, that really pulled me towards a certain type of, you know, punk rock or metal. So it really is just an opinion thing, you know. Music is like anything else, you know, movies, TV, even like comedians, you know, any kind of entertainment really is all about, it's all subjective is what I'm trying to say. It's all based on your own personality and maybe the circles that you run in and the influences that you have on your life, whether it be when you're younger or even to when you're older. You might meet some new people that like something different that you might be interested in, or maybe an amalgamation of what you like and what they like. One of the main things I'm going to try and say right now is whatever you like, don't let anybody tell you any fucking different, and don't hide what you like. You know, a lot of people will hide the kind of music that they like or movies or TV shows that they like because they think that they're going to be, you know, ridiculed by their friends and stuff like that. You know, and any kind of peers at school or whatever. And that's definitely a worry when you're younger. Not for me so much now, being older. And so I understand, like, both sides of it. But, you know, like, let people know what kind of music that you like. And let it be, like, out in the open. Because you can't really enjoy it unless you can share it. That's really just my feeling anymore. You know, like with the internet now, you can pretty much reach out to any kind of community for anything that you're interested in. So, in one side of things, you know, you may not really, you know, progress in your thoughts and the, you know, way you perceive anything, media, music, or whatever, just by, you know, sticking to one group that agrees with everything you say. But at least you can find someone who likes stuff that you may not think your friends will like. On the other hand, if you you bring it out into the open and you let everyone know what kind of music that you like and what kind of TV shows that you like, maybe you're going to actually find some real friends, some real interesting people that you can actually enjoy these things with. I'm going to stop myself right there because I could fucking go on a rant forever. Basically, like what you like, do what you do, and don't let anyone tell you any fucking different. Especially my stupid-ass opinion. So yeah, go check out Loudwire channel on YouTube. They're pretty badass. Of course, I will put a link in the description for this video so you can go ahead and watch for yourself. Full screen, full audio, and got the full experience. And as always, have yourself a fantastic evening.